So Lisa, um,
Yeah,
acquired brain injury, I guess it's what it says it is. It's an injury that has you've acquired and you weren't born with. Can you tell us about that?
that's that's right. It is, as it says, acquired. You're not born with it.
Mm,
What happened to me was I was 4 years old and I was involved in a road traffic accident.
right.
Um, I spent about 5 or 6 months in hospital. And it was suggested that um, I hadn't been baptized as a little un. So it was suggested, because we lived in Ireland, it was suggested that I was baptized while I was in a coma
Gosh.
because they didn't know whether I was going to make it or not.
Wow.
So yeah, I was baptized then.
Hmm.
Um, People have said to me that I was lucky that I had my injury at such a young age because I don't know anything else.
Right.
So I don't see me as being lucky.
Mm,
Well, I do in one respect because I survived. I'm here.
yeah.
That's lucky.
Hmm.
But um, I I'm not the person that I was born to be.
Yeah.
So I do feel that I was, you know, um, I'm not really who I should be. I'm not my true self.
Right. Right. So you were in hospital for 5 or 6 months,
Hmm.
and did you then go to an ordinary school or
Yeah. Mom and dad wanted me raised just like any other child would be. So I
Mm,
went to an ordinary school, um, no special schooling. Um, and at that time, I mean, because we're talking about the early 70s here,
hmm.
there was no um there was no there was no
You're looking for a word.
yeah,
Is it about like brains?
integration.
Okay.
That's it. Sorry, yeah.
No, it's
There
fine.
was no integration at that time. Disabled children got taught separately to um able-bodied children.
Mm,
So I was the only one with a physical disability or a disability
yeah.
in the school as I went through my school life.
Gosh.
Um, it was it was a bit difficult
Mm,
because there was a lot of like picking on and stuff from other kids. But looking back, I see it now as I was like me being different was teaching other children
right.
what it's like to be
Mm,
different.
mm, mm, yeah. So how old were you when you discovered you had a brain injury? Because when you were at school, they thought it was just a physical disability, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Um, I was I was 28
Wow.
when I discovered the brain injury bit. The reason being is back in the 70s, there wasn't that much known about the brain.
Mm,
there's still lots to learn about the brain.
Mm.
Um, and at that time as well, there wasn't um the equipment there is, the imaging equipment there is around now to
Right.
find out. So it was just basically, they knew I'd broken my leg when I broke my leg,
Yeah.
but they didn't know about anything else. And they
Right.
said that at the hospital, they said that we won't know what's wrong until she wakes up.
Mm.
That was then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been since I was 18, between the ages of 18 and 28, when I finally got somebody to listen to me, I knew that there was something wrong.
Okay.
But every time I try to um, convey that to a doctor, um, I was just told I was being silly. So, but then when I came to live here, I went to see my GP, and he said that I was probably right, that I probably had got other other problems,
Mm.
cognitive problems, because I told him that I got problems with um with language, finding my words, with concentration, and with the things they call executive functioning.
Okay.
Um, yeah, if I just show show that, I don't know whether you can see it. Um, I won't leave it up there because I'll explain about it.
Okay.
When when I was at the brain injury centre, where I went at 28, we did a section where we learnt about the brain
Mhm.
and about which parts were damaged
Mm.
for ourselves. Well, for me, um, there's a strip up here called the motor strip, which controls obviously movement. So for me, my my right side has gone. And I don't know whether you know this, you probably do, but the brain's a bit Irish because the left controls the right and the right controls the left.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Mhm.
So it was my left side that sustained the injury.
Right.
Um, and the left side in most people is where language is controlled.
Right.
So when I mean language, it's like you know that there's a word that you want
Mhm.
and it's on the tip of your tongue,
Mhm.
but you can't find it.
Mm.
And how it was explained to us is that you were going through your brain, looking through all these filing cabinets and boxes, trying to find the word that you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it was explained to us. Um, as I say, mine was my motor strip has been um that was injured.
Mhm.
And here, this part of the brain, the
Yeah.
frontal lobe,
Yeah.
is with planning and organizing, and it deals with inhibition and judgment and personality and that.
Mm.
Luckily, it's just the planning and organizing for me that is a little bit skew. Um, and then there's this bit just over the eye here,
Mhm.
which controls emotion. is where the emotional control comes from. And
Right.
for me, that's really skewy
Right.
at times. It's where things are just sort of blown up. So you don't just feel a little bit of emotion, you can feel a lot of emotion.
Right.
Or or it can go the other way,
Uh-huh.
where you feel no emotion whatsoever.
Got you. Got you.
Um,
What you're describing is the sort of thing that people with a stroke can have as well, you said to me before.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's because it's the brain, whether it's a stroke or whether it's a head injury of some kind.
Mm.
Um, if you think about it, and I mean, it took me a long time to um sort of get my head round it, which is stupid, really, because if you think about it, the brain is like it's the engine,
Mm.
it's the
Mm.
thing that makes everything work,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
if there's something gone wrong with it,
Mm.
then something's gonna stop working or not work properly.
Yeah. Yeah. What difference did it make to you to have a diagnosis when you were 28?
Um, it was a big difference. I mean, a lot of people said to me that, nothing's changed.
Mm.
You're still who you were. So, but for me, that that diagnosis meant that it didn't matter what I did, it wasn't going to go away. It was something which was going to stay.
Right. Yeah.
Whether I wanted it to or not.
Yeah.
I've learned to live with it. Um, the the bit that I can't that really gets to me
Mm.
is um what's called the boom and bust.
Okay.
It's when you get a lot of energy, or you think you've got a lot of energy,
Uh,
and instead of instead of um playing it over a number of days that you're spending it,
mm.
you go and spend it all at once,
Right.
and then you go into a where, like, I mean, I'll give you an example.
Mm.
A couple of weeks ago, I had Monday. I'd got a very busy day on the Monday. On the Tuesday, I have a support worker. Now, because she hadn't got a car, we were trying to work out how to do my hours because I normally have her 2 days a week.
Hmm.
On the Thursday, only taught 2 hours, where I have her on Tuesday for 4 hours.
Okay.
Well, we did 5 hours on the Tuesday,
Hmm.
and I'd already had a very busy day on the Monday. We did 5 hours on the Tuesday, and it wasn't because I felt because it's not very often where I get like I can do this today,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
So all that energy that I had, I just
Right.
spent it all in the one day. So on the Wednesday, I couldn't get up out of bed till
Right.
about 3 o'clock. And then on the Thursday, I got up about 12, 1 o'clock. Now, some people just see that as being lazy.
Mm.
I just, I need to recoup because if I don't recoup, then it just
Yeah.
makes me poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause it's interesting that your energy levels are affected.
Yeah, that's one thing. With an acquired brain injury, one of the things they did at the brain injury centre was they gave us like a diary to fill in for 2 weeks
Okay.
on and we had to map out our physical energy, how we found we were after we did a job,
Hmm.
and our mental energy at the same time. So we had to fill in a diary for them both at the same time.
Okay.
And then they studied the professional people, uh, psychologists and that.
Hmm.
And apparently you can have real fatigue, not just tiredness, but actual fatigue where you can't do anything. And you can suffer from either the physical fatigue, the mental fatigue, or both.
Right.
And I was both.
Right.
I think it's because you have to put more energy into what you're doing and more effort
Mm.
because because your brain's only working at half speed. It's not full. If you think about it like that,
Yeah.
it's only working at half speed. It's not working at full speed.
Mm.
Yet you've
Yeah.
still got to do everything.
Yeah. So how did you get on in your working life?
Um, that was difficult
Mm.
because obviously, um, I started work when I think I was 24, 23, 24.
Mhm.
I didn't get employed as soon as I left college. I did voluntary work
Mhm.
through Age Concern and the Red Cross. But when I did get employed, I was employed by a charity called Shore Trust.
Mhm.
Now, what this charity did was they employed me, but then they lent me out to I worked for the employment service. So they lent me out to work, so I worked there.
Mhm.
Now what happened with that is my work output was put at I think it was 67%,
Mm.
right? So um so the I got paid 67% of my wages
Mm.
by the government,
Mm.
and then I got my wages made up to a full wage by the charity.
Okay.
Um, Now, because I was on supported employment, I should have had um, help, more help, I suppose,
Mm.
than I did get, but I didn't find it easy. I mean, and remember, this is before I found out that I'd got um, an acquired brain injury. So
Yeah.
I had no real um real knowledge then of the cognitive problems I was having,
Yeah.
although are happening. And I mean, because I was doing filing, taking messages and stuff like that, and because sometimes I get it all wrong,
Mm.
I would get like told off,
Mm.
proper told off. I mean, at one stage there was college for, I think it was college for the blind because of my right-sided thingy, because I've got hardly any vision in my right side, my
Okay.
right eye, sorry. Um, they came and did an assessment,
Mm.
um, for chairs and what have you. But
Mm.
they also did because they did a proper assessment thing, and it covered reading and writing as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And although I can read and write, um, my messages weren't that good that I took down. And it was thought that I might have acquired dyslexia. But my work placement, because I'd already been to, um, bless you, because I'd already been to the the brain injury centre, because it was like halfway through when I was working that I'd been
Mm.
to the brain injury centre. And they said that because I'd been there already, they weren't going to spend money on getting me assessed to um see whether I got dyslexia.
Mm.
But then when I did actually finish work, because I finished work because there was a change in who ran the office,
Mhm.
and because of the noise and the everything, because one of the things people with acquired brain injury can be very sensitive to is noise. And um and because they need that, because of the concentration in that they because of the effort they
Mm.
need to put in on the concentration in that makes them tired and whatever. Um, well, because I wasn't getting any support
Mm.
as far as that was concerned, I went sick,
Yeah.
and after about a year, I left the job
Mm.
because I couldn't do it anymore.
No.
Um, so and it was after that point when I went to Headway, and um I saw somebody at Headway, one of their people, and they said that I'd got acquired dyslexia.
Right.
It's not so much with words.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit.
Mhm.
It's numbers.
Numbers. Right.
Numbers. I have to be really careful when it comes to numbers. I can mix dates up. I can mix phone numbers up, you
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
um stuff like that.
Okay. Well, bearing in mind what you said about becoming tired and fatigued, how are you doing so far?
All right, actually.
You're all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Okay. That's good. So tell us then about your spiritual life.
Okay. Well, as I said, I got baptized when I was in hospital,
Mm.
and I believe that from even though I was a youngster, I believe from that time that is when God had my back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and even though as a youngster I didn't go to church
Mm.
because my parents weren't that way
Mm.
inclined. Um, I always said prayers at night and that, and mom and dad always made us do it, asked us if we done it and that.
Mm.
So, but then as I got older, um, I did try the odd church, um, and I didn't feel it wasn't that didn't feel God there. It was that I didn't feel I belonged
Okay.
because there was no welcome.
Mm.
All right. When you go into a place, you don't want people to, open arms, hug, and you know,
Mm.
you're here, sort of thing. But I find it difficult to approach people. Ignore
Yeah.
that. It's all right if I couldn't carry on talking because I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, where were we? What were we saying?
When you went to churches, you
Yeah,
feel
no, I
welcome.
didn't.
You
I
didn't feel at home.
I didn't feel at home. I mean, when we lived in Alf Church, not Alf Church, I'm in Alf Church now. Sorry, it's wrong end of the day.
Mm.
When we lived in Shrewsbury, I tried a couple of churches there. It didn't really do anything for me. Um, when I came to when I first came to Birmingham, I was lodging in Acox Green
Mhm.
with some friends. Well, they were mum's friends, but I was lodging with them.
Mm.
And I went there for quite a while, couple of years, but it didn't really speak to me because people were, I don't know, not friendly.
Okay.
I didn't find them friendly. Mind you, when I was in that church, and I felt it since, when I was in that church, I felt God.
Okay.
God was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And God wanted to be a part of me.
Mm.
And I felt that. And
Mm.
I felt that really strong.
Mm.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Um, and then after I came to live with my gran here in Alfchurch. And I'd been here some years um before I got involved with Alfchurch Baptist, and I'd heard about the Christmas tree event that they'd had.
Mhm.
So I went down every day of that week, not just to see the trees,
Mm.
but to sit and be in his house
Mm.
because I think that is something that I'd missed
Mm.
for such a long time. And then I met Fiona, who was minister at the time, Fiona Lee.
Mm.
And we had a chat. And the following Sunday, um, I went I went to the service. I was stood at the back, and Fiona must have had a chat with one of the chaps, John, because he saw me at the back and he said, "Hi, Lisa," and I thought, "Who's that?" Because I hadn't got a clue.
No.
And the rest is just history.
How did it feel when he came up and he knew your name?
It felt good. It felt good. It felt like I was in a place where I I was being loved
Yeah,
and cared for.
yeah. And what's your role in the church now, or roles plural?
Okay. I I first started off by just doing some prayers for the um the prayer sheet for um what was the newsletter. Everything's all changed now.
Mm.
But um because there's different people running it now, so it's all changed. But I started off by doing that,
Mm.
and now I still do the prayers, but they are in what's called Connect,
Okay.
and it comes out on a weekly basis in on the computer,
Ah.
email, or for those who haven't, it's printed out.
Mhm.
And at the top, each week of this Connect, because it tells people what's happening in the week, what's um what the service is and stuff.
Yeah.
And at the top, it's got a prayer that I've written for the week. So I do that,
Mhm.
and then I do prayers of intercession once a month.
Mhm.
Um, when our new minister was training with us, um, I was doing some things to help him out as well,
Mhm.
like with the prayers of intercession and what have you.
Mhm.
And then um, I was asked to be a deacon,
Yeah.
but I knew that I wouldn't have the um I just wouldn't have the wherewithal to be a deacon,
Okay.
because I think a deacon needs to do a lot. But
Okay.
but I'm a member of the worship coordination team,
Mm.
which is great,
Mm.
which means I have some input,
Yes.
because I also I help run the I do two services a year with with the help of Joey, our
Mhm.
minister. I do a creation service, and then just recently I've started doing disability Sunday service
Yeah.
as well. Um, I can't remember what else I do. I know I do other things, but I can't remember.
That's all right. I mean, that's
Perhaps
quite a
you.
lot of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
That is quite a
it
lot of stuff. It feels like this church has really enabled you to contribute.
has. It has.
They've been open to you contributing.
It has.
Mhm.
And do you know what I liked about the church when I first got there?
Mm.
I wasn't the only disabled person in the church.
Right.
There's a couple of others. There's one in a wheelchair, and one who has. There was a couple that have learning difficulties as well,
Hmm.
um, which really inspired me,
Mm.
because um, churches that I had tried before
Yeah.
hadn't got anybody who, you know, hadn't got a problem
Yeah.
of sorts,
Yeah.
that you could see,
That you could see. Yeah. Yeah.
that you could see.
So, what can people in other Baptist churches do to make people with acquired brain injury more welcome to their fellowships or in their fellowships?
Um, don't when you meet them for the first time, and if they've got um problems with getting their words out and stuff like that, and if they do find it a bit difficult, don't talk down to them as if they're children,
Mm,
because then they're just ordinary people
mm,
with a few problems. That's all. And I mean, and if you want to speak to somebody with an acquired brain injury as well, be aware of the surroundings that you were in,
yeah.
because um like if it's a noisy place,
Mm,
um especially like after church in coffee,
mm,
it's like all like that. And sometimes I'm thinking I've got to get out.
okay.
But um if you want to speak to somebody, don't try and speak to them from, I don't know, afar sort of
Mm,
thing.
mm,
Actually go up to that person and speak to them,
yes.
because it will be a lot easier for that person to concentrate on what you're saying. And you know, yeah,
Another thing that you said to me when we've been talking before is about being patient.
yeah, be patient, because um, especially if they have problems with language, um, and getting the words out.
Mm,
And don't automatically do it for them.
mm,
You know, uh, find that answer with the word. Um, it's okay when when they know you and you know them,
yeah.
but this is like, you've got to get to know each other first,
Yeah. Yeah.
and find out what um if uh you know what helps them, and what and if it because if it doesn't help them, it's going to hurt them, as
Yeah.
in it will damage their self-esteem, that
Mm,
sort of
mm,
thing. um Whereas at the moment, me me if I just say, once a person gets to know everybody,
yeah.
then because like with me, when if I'm tired and I have a conversation with somebody, and I go, well, it's that, and it's this, and the what's it, and the thingy, and we just have great conversation. They haven't got a clue what I'm saying, but they just take it.
Yes. Yes.
And then when I've had time to think about it, then I will say, well, this is what I was meaning.
Yeah. You fill in the gaps kind of thing.
Yeah.
So as we've said in all of these events, getting to know people is key.
Mm.
Getting to know people is key. Is there
Mm.
anything else you feel that you want to tell us about being a church that's welcoming to people with acquired brain injury?
Um, yeah, it's just it's good because it makes people feel, it made me feel wanted. It made me feel that I was worth something.
Mm,
I realized once I got into the church, and once I got once I can't find the word, but it's like I knew why I was alive. I'd found my purpose in life.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Mm,
up until then, I hadn't got a purpose in life. I
mm.
didn't know where I belonged in life, but I know where I belong now.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah,
Oh, Lisa, thank you so much for sharing your story
that's
with us.
okay.
It's been great. It's been great. Are you all right to take maybe a couple of questions if anyone has questions?
Yeah, sure, sure.
I can't see everybody though. So maybe Nikki, if
Karen,
anybody's
sorry, I was going to say I've got one.
you've got a question?
I do have a question. If it's okay, Lisa.
Yeah,
Um,
fine.
you said you were back. You was christened, or
Yeah,
well, when you was in the coma. Have
yeah.
you? And you said you're Baptist. I'm going to ask a question. Have you thought
Yes,
about
I
getting
have.
rebaptized?
I know what you're going to ask. I know what you're going to ask, and I meant to say yes. I have. I have had a believer's baptism. Was that what you're going to ask?
I was going to ask if you was been baptized now.
Yes, I have. Greatest moment in my life that was,
That's fantastic.
because I went into the pool, and I came out, and he spoke to me.
Oh, wonderful.
He did.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Lisa, we've got a question on the chat. Thank you so much for sharing, says Steph. How can we as church help with communication from the front and with weekly newsletters?
Sorry, can you kind of
Yeah.
explain that?
But shall I break it down? Um,
Yes, please.
how can a church help? How can they improve? What can they do to improve communication from the front for people, like from the pulpit, so to speak, for people with acquired brain injury? That's one part.
They could ask, well, they could see if people with a brain injury would like to sit closer,
Hmm.
because um, it might be easier for them to hear.
Mm.
Because I know people don't mean to, but some people I know can, like, be um, you know, a bit chatty in church
Oh, right.
while things
Yeah.
are still going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people with brain injury might, because they don't have the all that's necessary to focus on one thing when they've got other things going on around them.
Sure.
It's easier if they're moved from that situation and placed nearer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And
so, so Karen, just can I just what you're saying is good, but am I right in saying it's better to speak to the person with it's across with all the disabilities? Better to speak to the person that has the brain injury to see how they can best support that
mm,
person rather than
Oh yeah.
assuming what they need to be moved.
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Sorry. I I meant to say that, but from from speaking as a person with an acquired brain injury,
Mm.
right? Because I suppose that's what I'm doing,
Mhm.
is I'm just saying what helps me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know I shouldn't, but trying
Yeah.
to, especially at this time of night, trying to sort out all the bits and
Mm.
pieces, and get the thoughts and that in the right order
Sure.
is not, it's as I said earlier, it's the wrong end of the day for me.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
doing very well getting this much sense out of me.
You've done great. Is there anything in sort of written newsletters or even email newsletters that would help you?
If the person's eyesight,
Mm.
because I mean it depends. I mean, you know, as I say, what part of the brain is injured depends
Mhm.
on how the person is. And no two brain injuries are the same,
Mm.
right?
That's right.
So it depends. Then if a person needs something in a bigger print or something like that, then
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would be best to speak to them to see what they need.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
There's
That's
another
all right.
question in the chat from
Mhm.
Alison. Lisa, do you find silence in worship services helpful?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Silence is
To
yeah.
elaborate, is that so not just during prayer time, would that help after the message or the sermon with a bit of reflection time to pause to think about what's been said?
Yeah, it would help. Um
Mm.
Either after the thingy or the sermon. Sorry,
That's fine.
um
That's
okay.
fine. So to any point anybody wanted to introduce some silence, that would be fine with you.
Yeah, that'd be fine with me. And anybody else who's got a brain
And
injury, I can
anybody,
tell
yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes the service is it can be bang 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 bang, you know,
Yes. Yes.
whereas there's something that going on all the time.
Mm.
Yeah. So like um but yeah, reflection and sometimes to think on what's been said before you go on to something else,
Mm.
especially like after service, after the sermon, would be good. Um, yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Any other questions for Lisa? You see any other questions, Nikki?
Not at the moment. Just a couple of thank yous for sharing your
Oh,
story,
yeah.
Lisa.
The chat will be saved, Lisa, so I can share that with you. But a lot of people are saying thank you, which is nice.
Okay.
So everyone
Okay.
going to
Well,
draw this.
I hope it's helped.
Absolutely. That's what people are saying. Yeah.